the difference in the game, without looking at the whole thing first, was obvious, and that was just the edge that they played with from start to finish, and we just simply did not match it. Got down big in the first, tied the second, lost the third, and made a little bit of a run in the fourth. But it's the power of hard play, and so give them credit. And we didn't do a good enough job, and I didn't do a good enough job getting these guys ready to play.
Is that what you view as the biggest difference between Saturday's game and today's?
I'm sorry?
Is that edge what you view as was the biggest difference between Saturday's and today's game?
Yeah.
What do you feel like offensively you guys kind of struggled coming out of the gate? Was going wrong for you guys? Felt like some of the looks you were generating were still what you want?
Well, there were a lot of easy shots early last game, and they were they struggled defensively to start the game. Things came easy to us. They flipped the script on that. They were physical. They had a lot of presence. Omarui starting gave them more quickness and toughness in the lineup. And, their guards were very present on the ball. So, we had some shots, but the majority of them weren't great shots. And so we struggled to make.
It's obviously tough losing the production of the guys who are actually out, but when the whole rotation basically has changed, what's the challenge of overcoming something like that?
Yeah, on Saturday, we proved that we had enough here to win the game, and we won the game rather easily. Part of this, I think, is human nature, a little bit of a letdown after you get a win that seemed like it was pretty easy. And they got a little pissed off tonight about it and came out and just played with a level of intensity that made us uncomfortable.
How do you sort of view the overall value of these two games as a teaching tool? Obviously, what you just described is something you can teach off of, to say, hey, if you beat somebody like that, they're going to come back and want to beat you up. It's something you're going to see in a playoff series. What do you just kind of view as the whole value of teaching?
It's just valuable for our young guys to get this kind of experience. To like Isaiah Jackson, for example. He was in early foul trouble in the first game. He got 2 quick ones tonight. I decided to leave him in there, and I said, hey, you got to play without fouling. You got to be aggressive, but you got to play without fouling. He was able to do that and played till, I think the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. Did a good job there. So he learned some things from game 1 to game 2, even though he didn't win the second game. That's valuable. It's just a lot of that kind of stuff. Drew Nemhard needs this kind of work at the point position. He needs to play, 35 minutes, a game, a few games, play in the point position. And so he had the opportunity to play a lot. So he played 36 tonight. He did a lot of good things in both games. But there's a different rhythm to that position, a different flow. He's still guarding a lot of the same guys that he would. He's guarding the point guards in a lot of cases, even when he plays with Ty. But, this is, he's out there calling the plays and running the team. And so it's experience that's very valuable.
Just to stick on him, you say he did some good things. What did you like, what did you not like from him running the point?
Overall, I just like his moxie. I like how hard he plays. I like his toughness, his physical, the physical element that he brings. He sees things. He can run a team and still score when they give him the obvious shot. And I think, that's one of the difficult things to teach in this league is, an aggression mentality, but the ability to shoot in the right situations, shoot and score in the right situations, and be able to pass and play make in the others. And so I just think this is really good for him. Nwora had ended up with 20 points. he's a guy, I think, too, that at the wing and the four position can be a bit of a playmaker as well. And I think this is going to be a challenge for him to try to adopt that kind of feel for both elements, the scoring and the playmaking, without overcommitting to one or the other. But I think he's got some unique qualities, and I think he's got a chance to be able to do that.
To keep going on him, it seemed like he got more opportunity with the ball in his hand to dribble, to pass, instead of just sort of waiting to catch and shoot. I mean, was that something that you really wanted to get out of these 2 days? Is give him more time with the ball in his hand?
Yes. It's good to see what he can do with the ball, but he needs to have the right balance of, dribbling it, looking to make the play, and when to get off of it, and not to over dribble. And this is, the system he came from. He was not one of the primary playmakers. He's shown he can do some of that stuff with us, and so we just got to figure out what's reasonable, to be able to take advantage of those qualities that he has. What you want ultimately is to be able to have a balance without losing his aggression to score, which is kind of the natural thing that he brings to the game. So we'll see. We'll see how the whole thing evolves. I mean, we got 13 games left. He played some 3 and some 4 tonight. That was interesting to see. And we got, a lot of good opponents coming up.
I think I'm somebody who can make a lot happen on the floor. Obviously, I'm getting more opportunities here, but obviously Ty's been out the past couple of games. When he's back, when everybody's back, my job is just to make him look good and our team look good. I'm just happy I'm getting an opportunity now. This is an opportunity I wasn't really getting in my last spot. I'm getting a chance to learn and grow with these guys, and I'm just really appreciative of it, and just want to keep getting better and keep working.
Obviously there was a lot of different combinations the last 2 games with Ty and Miles and TJ and everybody being out. Just what was it like to just be in there with different groups, with a lot of younger guys out there? Just what do you think how do you think it sort of helped you guys, or can help you guys, going forward?
It was good. A lot of these groups, especially me being new to here, haven't played with each other in some of these lineups. So, it was good. Like I said, it was just a learning experience. And tonight was tough, man. They just hit a lot of shots, a lot of tough shots. But it's the NBA. Nights like that happen. Like I said, just keep learning from it, growing from it. Go back, watch the tape, and move on to the next game in Milwaukee.
Rick obviously compared this to there's some kind of playoff comparison here when you play one night in the same city and then playing it again a couple nights later, and the other team's gonna be mad at whatever happened when you beat them. I mean, is that and you've obviously been in those atmospheres just with the Bucks. I mean, just what kind of lessons could you learn just from what the different effort that you guys saw from Detroit on Saturday and what you saw tonight?
I think a big thing was just needing to realize they were going to come out, with an edge after what happened last game. The game started and they kind of smacked us in the mouth, and it was it got to the point where it was a hill we couldn't, climb back and get back into. So, we made a little push in the third quarter, and then they just made a couple more tough shots and kind of kept the lead where it was. So, like I said, just got to learn from it, grow. Yeah, that's part of being on a young team, and we'll be better next time.
Speaking of the Bucks, anything unique or special you're looking forward to on Thursday?
I'm just looking forward to go there and play. It's going to be fun playing with everybody, seeing some of my old teammates. It's going to be fun. Hopefully we can go in there and have a nice competitive game, get a win.
Earlier this season in Utah, Taylor Horton-Tucker was talking about how in that situation he was asked to develop a bunch of different skills, whereas with the Lakers it was certain skills to help that team win. Have you had a similar experience here where it's more well-rounded, work on several things and not just the things the Bucks need you to do in certain situations?
Yeah, I feel like here they're putting me more in a position to do what I naturally do, as opposed to Milwaukee. I was more spot up, be in the corner, play around 3 guys. Not that that's wrong, 3 of the best players in the world, but here it's different. The ball's popping, it's moving, everybody's getting a touch, and that's what's fun and unique about this team. That's what makes us good.
You say the things you naturally do. Can you expand on that? What would you say that those really are?
I think for me it's just being able to put myself in positions to put the ball into the hoop, And then obviously getting better with my playmaking skills. Here, everybody's cutting, making reads, and that's just that was just gonna grow now. Being able to have the ball in my hands more and have a chance to make those plays.
It's always fun to play the game of basketball. And even though we're missing guys, we were able to win the first one. Came up short today, but we fought, especially in the second half more than the first half, and we learned a lot of things today, and we'll carry from, and move forward.
You've obviously been playing a lot, but I mean, there's a lot of other guys that got way more minutes than you have. What do you think of the value is for those guys? Some of them use different roles. Jordan getting the ball in his hands a lot more. I mean, what do you think kind of value there is for creating those situations?
Yeah, I mean, opportunity, and the value of being able to play through mistakes and not looking over your shoulder. I came from a similar situation that Jordan was in, so I understand where he's coming from, and it's awesome that he can come here and be himself and flourish.
So one thing Rick mentioned, there's some kind of playoff comparison here. That when you're in obviously Detroit's not close to that, but you're in one city 3 days. You play them twice, you beat them once, and they come back and they're a different team. I mean, what kind of lessons do you think you guys got from that?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Came up pissed off.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's always tough to beat a team 2 times in a row. Yeah, definitely. That's like the playoff schedule like that. Yeah, I mean it's a good point. It's a good opportunity. It's good learning for everybody who hasn't had a chance to play in the playoffs. Yeah.
As far as what kind of mistakes do you guys look at and say these are things that we clearly can learn from?
Defense. We give 91 points in 3 quarters to them, and we just can't let that happen. We got talented teams coming in, like the Bucks on Thursday, and we play defense like we did today. It's going to be a rough one on Thursday, so. We'll learn from it. We'll move forward, and we'll play better defense throughout the rest of the season.
Defense, where you feel like things went sideways compared to Saturday, or was there more to it than that?
I would say a combination of both. Defense, defense leads the offense, and we start taking bad shots, quick shots, and put ourselves in transition on the other end, and they were able to get easy baskets. So it works hand in hand. Yeah.
What's the challenge of not only missing talented guys, but also everybody who's playing is playing either a little more, or a little different role than they usually do?
Yeah, it's tough for sure. Just like you said, everybody's playing more minutes or different roles, and it's just being able to adapt and adjust, and try and do whatever you can to help the team win.
Did you get a little more freedom with the ball in your hands the last couple of days? You got a little more opportunity to dribble drive
maybe a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's just playing in the flow of the game, reading the game. If I got those opportunities because I touched the ball maybe a little bit more here and there, and I'm just always going to play within the flow of the game, not force anything. So that's just how it happened today. Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of learning experience. It's a group that haven't really played much together, so learn each other. You could tell there's a lot of confusion out there at times, but that's basketball. We try to figure it out, and today Detroit just played better basketball.
I mean, just how much does that help you when you put guys in positions where they have to figure it out on the fly? That it's you've played enough different situations. You've seen guys get hurt, rotations get switched up, in tough situations. Just how important do you think could that experience be for guys to again just sort of have to figure it out?
I mean, down the stretch, big. When it shows when you're called on later. You have some rhythm and things like that, but. Like I said, it was a good opportunity for all the guys to get out there and, get their lungs going. A lot of guys who haven't played, in a long time, and just trying to figure it out. But it's always something that you can get better on.
They're obviously, Detroit's obviously not in playoff position, but I mean, there's some level of comparison to a playoff series here where you're playing, 2 games in one city in 3 nights, and you beat them one night, and then they come out back and they don't want that to happen again. I mean, what did it kind of was there some comparison there, and do you think there's something that guys can learn from? You beat a team one night, and two nights later they come back more.
I mean, no matter what, it's hard to win the NBA, no matter where you're at. But to try to beat somebody at home 2 straight games is going to be tougher. No matter if they're in playoff contingency or not, you have a sense of urgency, especially when you're at home with your crowd and you make a couple shots and your crowd get behind you. And that's what they did tonight. They got off to a really hot start, and they kept it rolling.
How much will 2 games in a row playing with these guys actually help you with in terms of fitting in, making those connections?
I mean, it's good. Like you said, it's the first time I've got to do it in a while, so still super rusty. But at the same time, it's fun trying to get your lungs back into shape and just get the rhythm of basketball, especially with a new team and things like that. But it's a lot that I can learn watching film. I'm going to watch it and figure out how I can be better.
As you transition from the Bucks to a much younger team, how have you felt your leadership style or veteran presence kind of change or evolve?
Just being vocal to them, trying to help them as much as possible, trying to just be that vocal leader to things that I can see that maybe they're doing wrong, that can help them, or maybe they're doing it right, and there's a lot of injury where it's an easier way to do it. So just being in their corner for them to ask questions and trying to get the best answer as possible.
You're always up off the bench helping somebody with something. Is that something you always have done, or that Rick has challenged you to do since you got here? Where did that come from?
I mean, I've always done that. Is learning from the vets I had before me. The Tim Duncans and the Manus and Brian at that time and Kirk Thomas and Mike Finley. I can go down the list of all the great vets I had. So even like guys like David West that was here with me in Indiana. So just picking up habits from those guys and trying to drop jewels on our young guys and just be the best I can.